Alright, welcome to the Module 2 of the Digital School Solution. In Module 1, we were able to cover the portal settings, where every information about your school is registered, like the school's information, school sections, school classes, grading system, subjects. If you don't understand how to run any of these, how to set any of these, you might have to go back to the tutorial for the Module 1. However, in this Module 2, we are going to be looking at the Student Manager, which you can see my mouse there. In Student Manager, the system will ask us, are we managing for secondary, basic, nursery, pre-nursery, and crèche? If your school has all this, you have to manage them independently, because the secondary is independent of the basic. The basic is also primary. They are also independent of the nursery, as the case may be. Now, for example, we want to manage secondary students. If you see School Manager, you click on School Manager, you click on Secondary, for example. Then you see Register New Students, Batch Registration. I'm going to explain the difference between registering new students and batch registration. View Students Register, Search for Students, Edit a Student, Archiving Students. Now, if we want to register a new student, usually we use Register New Students. Now, using the Register New Students usually occurs if you want to register each student one after the other. And so the moment you place your cursor on the admission number, the system will generate an admission number automatically. Most schools call this admission number or portal ID. Then you fill up the information: surname, first name, other names, gender, date of birth, blood group, state of origin, local government, class of the student, subclass, religion, address. Then you have to set a password for the student. Very important. Very important. You must set a password, because with this password and the portal ID or the admission number is what the student will use to log in into the system. Then this is parent or guardian information, but before that you also have to upload the passport for the child, because this passport you upload here will be used for the students on the results section. Then you put the parents information. Don't always forget to put the parents phone number here also. Once you are done with filling up the information, you submit. Once you submit, the student's record is added into the system. Another aspect that you need to take very carefully, you select the class of the student. Let's say GSS1, subclass. Subclass, is it in GSS1A or GSS1B or GSS1 Excellence, Humanities, Integrity, as the case may be. So you fill in that student's record. So also, when a new student enters the school in a term, for example, when the term is already running and you want to register that new student into a particular class, this is what you use. Now, for batch registration helps us to be able to type all the new students. For example, in a new session where we have new students in JSS1, new students in SS1, it will not be very good for us to be typing them one after the other on the system. So we download, look at this place, we will download the Excel format. If we download the Excel format, if we click on download the Excel format here, it will download an Excel file that will give us a guide. Look at the below at the taskbar, you see the batch register, and so you click on the batch register. It will open an Excel file for us to be able to type. Now on this Excel file, You enter the student's admission number, the surname of the student, the first name, the last name, gender, the parent's phone number. Now this admission number, you have to know the last admission number of that child. So if the last admission number of this existing student is 1001, so this next student is going to be 1002. Surname Dan, first name Victor, last name V, gender male, phone number, you enter whatever phone number you have. Then you do the same if there are 25 students. This helps you to type their records offline. Once you type their record offline, you save it. I'll save as an Excel workbook. I'll save it in whatever location I feel like saving. For example, and make sure that you don't type more than one class in one particular Excel file. So this has to be for a particular class. For like JSS1, if I want to type for SS1, I'll open a new sheet like this, type for a new class. So this will be JS1. Then I'll save. Once I save, I come back to my portal, then I'll say class I'm about to upload JS1, I'm uploading JSS1A. I will now come to choose file. I'll look for where I saved the JSS1 records. The name is JS1. Look at it, the Excel file here. I click on it, I say open. I'll submit it. As soon as I submit it, the JSS1 student record will be populated in the students register. So that takes us to the students register. Make sure you enter the names correctly and you submit. So it takes us to the students register. Under the students register, we will be able to see the register of all students in the particular class. Let's take, for example, we have JSS1 Excellent, JSS1 Integrity. We're going to see all the classes for which the register has been generated. So let's say JSS1 Excellence. If we click on JSS1 Excellence, we are going to have all the records of the students in that class, their portal ID, which is auto-generated by the system, their names, sending SMS to them, their gender, their parents' phone number for those who submitted phone numbers of their parents, and their email addresses. So every class has a register, and their register is a comprehensive information about them. Apart from the students register, you can look at search for students. If there is a particular student you are trying to get anything about him, you can actually search using his or her first name. If, for instance, the student's first name is Okebukola, if you search, if that student exists, the system will generate the records. But if it does not exist, mouse over to enlarge it. So you say this student is a graduate, and if the student is presently in any class, it will give us every detail about the student at this point. Now, it is also possible from this point you can edit the student's record by clicking on this edit button. You can block that student from, if the student has left the school, you can also block the student from checking his or her result. Now we can go straight to editing of the students register. For this class, JSS2 Excellent, we are going to use JSS2 Excellent for an example. Of course, you can see that to edit the students register, all the records of the students are there: portal ID, name, and SMS. Then the passport of the child is there, gender, phone number of the parents, editing, block. Now you have to know that blocking a student means that this student is no longer a member of our school. It is very important that if a student leaves your school, you come to this place under this edit record and block the student. The reason why you have to block the student is so that that student's record will not be used to generate a result, will not be part of the results that will be generated for that class. And then we also have result access. Sometimes students owe us, and if they owe the school, then you have to block them from checking a result. So if I block this student, for example, if I click on block, it will say reason for blocking the student. Did I register the student in error, or did the student relocate, or the student is going for expulsion? So the system is trying to know why, so that the school will be able to know why their students are leaving them. Or for personal reason, family issue, death of the guardian, unable to pay fees. You just have to specify. This will help the school administration to know why students are leaving the school and how to be able to manage the way students leave school. If there is any way they can get back that student, they get back the student. You know the money is important. Now, result access. If you block the students from result access, the student will not be able to check his or her results. There you see the student has been blocked, and it will change to tell you result access was blocked successfully. So this student, even though he is a student of the school, his result is generated, but this particular student will not be able to have access to his result until whenever he pays the school. Then you go back to that place, still click it again, and unblock. If you unblock it, it will open again. It says the result access was opened successfully. Then if you want to send SMS to a particular student, you close the SMS and then you select this, or to all the students in the school, to the class in this particular class, which is JSS2 Excellence. You select SMS, you see send SMS. The numbers of every student's parents in that class will display. You type in your message, for example, hello parents, hello parents. If you remember, in our module 1, we had already set the SMS sender ID, so we don't have to do that here. That's what we did in the module 1. The SMS sender ID is simply the name that the SMS will use to appear on the parent's phone. We have done that in the portal settings, and so we just do send. Once we send it, all the parents in this particular class will be able to get the message. Now, when you want to remove, if there is any number you think is a wrong number, you can just click this minus sign. That number will be removed from the people that will receive the SMS from this place. Now, if there is any particular student you don't want to receive this SMS, you just remove them from there, and then they will be removed. If, for example, you don't want this particular person to receive, you just remove the person and he's removed. The same thing, if I don't want this person to receive, I'll remove it. So all the people I remove from this place will not be able to receive the SMS. If I want them, I'll just select them. If I want to send just to a particular person or a particular parent, I can initially remove all of them. Just by the clicking of my mouse, then I'll look for that particular person I want to send. I'll select for that person. then I'll go to send SMS. So only that parent's number will show, and then I'll send my SMS and I'll close. Then later I can activate all again from the top. So this is what we have in editing student. We can also click on edit. If we click on edit, you see all the students' records. Apart from the admission number, every other thing are subject to editing. You can make changes to the names of the students or make corrections to the names of the students. When you finish making your corrections, you can submit. The changes will be updated in the database as the case may be. Then the passport of the child. It's very important that you always upload the passport of your children so that for easy identification. Also, the passport will be displayed on the results. So each passport you click, if you feel you want to change the passport, you click and you select the picture that is for that particular student. You select any picture. Whatever picture you select will be uploaded into that location. So by clicking the passport, it allows you to make change to the picture. Then you change it. This is for this particular class. You can do the same for all the classes. JSS2 Integrity, JSS2 Sunrise, JSS2 Excellence, JSS3 Integrity, just as the case may be. And so you'll be able to make all necessary changes. Then the archive. The archive should contain all the list of students, both all the list of past students who have graduated from the school. And so as soon as this school has a class that has graduated to, let's say from SS3, they have passed out. So you are going to have the archive of the students by the right hand side. Thank you very much. Go through this and you can replicate the same thing for basic, for nursery, for pre-nursery, and for crèche. Thank you.